most people suck at networking. And the reason why they suck is because in school, we're taught all these different things about history and geography and maths and science, but we're literally not even taught how to build good relationships with other human beings. And the truth is, relationship building is honestly the highest ROI thing that you could do for your business ever. Full stop. Okay? All of your marketing comes down to relationship building. Okay? Everything that you do, your delivery comes down to relationship building. Your sales comes down to relationship building. So why on earth are we not taught how to actually build relationships? That's always been the case for most entrepreneurs, but today I'm going to be changing that with this video. And I'm going to be giving you guys the insights that I've used to build great relationships that have got me very far within my life. Now you might be sitting there thinking, gee, who are you to talk about relationships? And let me give you a few examples of how I use them. The first 10 customers that we had in our business were all from relationship building. The first 4-figure deal, relationship building. I was put into the same room with the vice chancellor of university, relationship building. I built an academy of 50 plus entrepreneurs, relationship building. I took on my first employee. I built a team of people, relationship building. Okay, everything fundamentally to the business. My high ticket sales that I've closed came from relationship building. Okay. Everything within the business has always come back to relationship building. I've been put into the same room as multi-7-figure founders because I've had the ability to build relationships. Over the past weeks, we've had a number of referrals come through because we've been able to build good relationships. Yeah, we just hosted a founders dinner yesterday, and we got people to the founders dinner. People were happy to be there. People associate us with having a good time. Why? Relationship building. Okay. Whenever you want to do anything in business, it's relationship building that's going to get you far. And 10th thing that I want to really touch on is our entire brand, right? What people know us for, what our social media is built on, is not from just our content, but actually the relationship that we have with individuals. So I've got over 16,000 followers on Instagram, on TikTok, sorry. And in there, I've even had people saying like they're willing to fly me out to Kenya. I've had people like approach me in the street. I've had people give me random offers and opportunities because I've built relationships with people. Okay, and that's the thing. Like, this is much deeper than looking at your screen and like networking and promoting things online. The real depth of growth happens with real people when you have one-to-one interactions with another individual. And if you can master that, your business is going to be on a whole nother level. You can get access to new people. You can get access to opportunity. You can get access to resources if you know how to leverage resources. And that's something that I've tried to do a lot with in my life. So let me break down how you can do it in your life too. Now, here's what most people get wrong about relationship building. People think relationship building is about give and take. And they're right. It is. It's meant to be equal. You're meant to be able to give something so you can take something back. However, what most people don't understand is how to actually give. If you want to build a meaningful relationship with someone, you have to actually first understand what it is that they want, what their goals are, what their visions are, and only from then can you actually help them. Once you understand exactly what someone wants, there's only 4 main ways that you can actually help them to achieve it. The first thing is that you make the dream outcome more desirable. You make them excited about it, you motivate them, you tell them that it's possible for them, and then that's going to reinforce in their head that they can achieve the goal, okay? So that's a way that people love help, okay? The second reason, or the second way that you can help someone, is that you actually make it more likely that they achieve their goal. So let's say that I've got a goal to hit £1 million within 1 year, and right now there's a lot of risk around that, and you come in and you say, look, gee, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold you accountable to make sure that you actually hit it, and you do all the tasks that you need to so that you can hit that million, okay? That's a way that you can give to me, okay? The third thing is effort and sacrifice. Let's say I'm doing something and it requires loads and loads of effort, and the way that I'm trying to, like, let's say diet, right? Let's say I'm trying to get in great shape, and you come to me and say like, gee, I see that you're pushing yourself loads in the gym. What if I told you that instead of, working out this much, you can just change your diet slightly and you'd have the same results? I'd be like, great, that's lower effort. You're making my life easier. Thanks for giving me this information. I can go and execute on that. And again, I feel like you've given me something. And then the fourth and final thing is you take whatever it is I'm doing and you make it quicker for me to achieve my goal. Okay? So those are the 4 ways that you can actually help someone, right? Those are the 4 ways that you could say that you provide value, and they're actually driven from Alex Hormozi's value equation. However, most people don't think about this when it comes to relationship building, okay? And the reason why is because they can't conceptualize what it actually means to help someone. So firstly, like I said, you have to understand their goal, and then you have to do one of these 4 things to make it more likely that they achieve their goal, Okay, if you can do this over and over again, then you are someone that will build relationships so quick you'll be struggling to keep up with it. Now you might be sitting there thinking, okay, great, G, I get that that's how you actually help people, but what if I'm stuck on the first bit? What if I don't know how to actually understand what someone wants? And what I've done is I've got a few questions for you that will make things a little bit easier. Now there's 5 questions that I've got that will help you to understand what someone's vision actually is. The first one is just asking them directly, what vision do you have for your life? Very simple. The second one is, which area of your life are you looking at improving at the moment? Okay. Most people will psychologically respond to that of like, well, I know that continuous improvement is good, so I should be able to come up with an answer of like what I'm actually trying to improve. The third thing is, what's exciting you the most about your life? Yeah. People love to feel like there's something going on in their own life as well. So if you ask them like what's exciting them, they'll think about it and be like, okay, what am I actually excited about? And sometimes people say like, there's nothing that's exciting. And be like, okay, that's interesting. Like, why is that? Like, how come nothing's exciting you at the moment? Like, what usually gets you excited about life? Yeah. And like, even that as a question, like as an opener, is really, really good. It usually leads to lots of follow-on questions. And all 3 of these questions, all 5 of them do. Yeah. The next question, the 4th question that I've got is, what does success look like for you over the next 6 months? Simple. Simple, simple, simple. The timeline really helps. Like, it really helps the person that you're speaking to give you a more concrete answer. And then the 5th question is, what are you putting most of your energy towards at the moment? Or what have you been working on over the last 2 to 3 months? Amazing. Like, the reason why that's such a good question is because most people lie. When you ask them, like, you know, what they're focused on or what their goals are, they'll just come out with, like, a lot of BS a lot of the time. But if you ask them what they've done in the past, they're psychologically more likely to tell the truth about things. So I like that question because it often, like, if you think that someone's not being, like, honest about their goals, or you think that someone's even, like, lying to themselves, because people do that, right? Like, people lie to themselves about, like, what's actually most important to themselves. If you ask them, like, what have you been focused on? Like, and what kind of progress have you seen over the last 2-3 months on this thing that you say is important, it really opens up the conversation well. Yeah. So these are some really good questions to ask. And by the way, one thing that I'd always recommend is that before you ask a question, you want to reiterate that you have good intentions. And by the way, obviously have good intentions, right? But reiterate that you have good intentions. And a really easy way to do that is by complimenting a person. Before I ask these questions, let's say I'm asking someone, what does success look like for you over the next 6 months? I might say to them, hey man, you seem like a really ambitious person. Like, you seem like you've got your head switched on. You seem like you're making a lot of progress in different things. And then I say, what does success look like for you over the next 6 months? The compliments reaffirm that they're okay to have their guard down and they can open up to me. I'm not some sort of vicious creature that's trying to disarm them and get something from them. It's like, I admire and appreciate what they do. And if you want to give a good compliment, make it an honest compliment. That's my best advice, right? And when I compliment someone, I always try to genuinely mean it. Otherwise, I'll find something that I can mean it, right? Like, if, for example, someone might be wearing a nice jumper, I'm like, oh, I really like your jumper, man. Like, literally just like, I'll make my compliments genuine, but I'll then try and tie it to, you know, something about like this. Like, for example, I'll say, bro, I love your jumper, right? And something along the lines of, yeah, but there's more to life than just having nice jumpers. So what is it that really gets you excited? Yeah? What does success look like for you over the next 6 months? So it's like I can use a compliment about something and then tie it into the question for me to figure out what it is that they want. And like I said, once you figure out what someone wants, you can use those 4 methods that we talked about earlier to actually help them to achieve their goal. And if you can help them to achieve their goal, you'll actually build a better relationship. Then the last bit of bonus advice that I want to give you guys is always put the relationship above the sale, above the finances, and don't expect anything back from a financial point of view. Just because you give something to someone doesn't mean that they owe you anything, especially in business. Especially in business. I've seen people in business for like 5 years that they think because I've spent a lot of time, I've spent a lot of effort, I'm owed this big number. I should be making this amount of money. You're not owed anything. You know what I mean? Like, you can go and you can intern for free a huge company, a multi-million-pound company for 12 weeks. And do they owe you a job? No. They don't owe you anything. You can go and work for them for free for 12 months or 12 weeks or whatever. And people just don't owe you anything. Okay? So play the game smartly. Don't just build one relationship, build 10. Don't just get disheartened when one thing doesn't work out. Try over and over again and improve your skill set every single time. Every single opportunity that you get to learn, focus on learning, and then the earning will happen by itself. Okay? So that's my last bit of bonus advice. Relationships are huge, man. I can't stress it enough. Your brand comes down to relationships. Your marketing comes down to relationships. Your sales comes down to relationships. Customer retention comes down to relationships. Yeah. Even if you sell a customer, if you can't maintain a customer for long periods of time, your business is built on shaky foundations. So relationships are massively important. And hopefully what I've shared with you today is super applicable. Super applicable to help you understand how you can apply this to your business. Yeah. Most people don't understand what people want, and then most people don't understand how to help them. You have to do these two fundamental things if you want to build good relationships. That's it.